Tom, Bill, hey, congratulations
Hey,
on SpongeBob, Sponge on the Run.
Thank
thanks.
you.
Hey,
Thanks. It's fun. I mean, here we are 25 years later, still doing it, still having fun, and they're still crazy enough to let us keep making new SpongeBob stuff. So it's an honor and a thrill and sort of unbelievable lottery scratcher all at the same time, and a head
What are
scratcher.
they thinking?
Exactly.
what do you suppose is the secret of success? Why people love SpongeBob for 25 years?
Well, wow. Well, so I think the fact that I have ADD has helped me in cartoons because I'm going, wow. I'm like, what's that cat? What's that cat looking at behind him? What's his cat looking at out the window?
It's
like,
scary.
yeah. You're talking and I'm just hearing run, 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 run. I'm going, wow, what's that cat up to? A squirrel, Sandy. So,
Sandy and Gary.
what was the question again, Gig?
I was just asking why do you think it's so successful for 25 years? Why do people love it so much?
I think it started out, people just liked it. It was kind of an old school cartoon. It was different from everything else. And it was this, the way it was put together and the elements that Steve, both old and new, that Steve drew from and stuff that was just inside him as a person, his outlook on life kind of came out in the show. And I think that's how it gained its toehold on the culture. And then it's just kind of, people like it. The people are glad it's still around. It's comforting for it to still be around. And it's multi-generational now, grandparents, parents, kids, got probably 3 or 4 generations at this point. So it's, I think that's part of it too. People are glad that SpongeBob's still around, and we need goofball silliness right now. I think people are kind of hungry for that.
I've never lost appreciation for this incredible world that Hillenberg created.
No,
which for him was born of his own love for the sea. As a marine biologist, he loved the sea and he loved the creatures of the sea. And he created this world with his tone and humor, and somehow people just accept it. We all just accept it, and we accept that we're on the bottom of the ocean, and there's a campfire, and there's a beach on the bottom of the. People just roll with it. I don't know. I don't. It's hard to quantify exactly what the key is. Really,
you're right, Bill. It's kind of a one of a kind thing that came from Steve, like you said, his love of the ocean and ocean science, animation, comedy, classic comedy, dumb comedy, smart comedy, music, colors, design, all those things that he was very interested in. He somehow, without even really appearing to try that hard, like he didn't torture himself over it or anything, just kind of managed to meld all those interests and loves into this story, these stories of these creatures that kind of caught on, and even when other people were writing the characters, once he had to bring other people aboard because you can't be a one-man band when you've got this empire that's taking over the world. He, those people were able to glom onto the same mindset and heart set, and that's stayed the same. That's the gift he left for us, for sure.
Now, in this film, it's all about friendship. What makes SpongeBob and Patrick's friendship last so long?
Do you and your cat get along?
We do get along.
Yes. It's kind of the same thing. So I think that friendship and knowing, that friendship is rock solid and it's there. And even what we're doing right now, like, back when we could do Comic-Cons and things like that, like people were really, like, it made them happy to see that the cast all got along and were friendly with each other, and it really it really is like that. Like, I think, even on a meta level, people are like, great. They're not all in separate dressing rooms, giving each other the finger and going, I'm not coming out until he's off the stage, whatever. Like, that happens on shows, all the time. Sure. These long running shows, live action. And, it really is all about friendship. SpongeBob's friendship with Gary, Patrick's friendship with SpongeBob, even Squidward realizing that he cares more about these irritating people than maybe he realized. And, it really is friendship.
Well, let me wrap it up with one more question. A young child contacted me through Facebook after he found out I'm actually talking to SpongeBob and Patrick.
Nice.
And he sent me a question wanting to ask both SpongeBob and Patrick, why do you like Squidward so much?
Well, let's see. There's many different answers to this. Like, I would say that SpongeBob is so guileless that SpongeBob doesn't realize that, like, people, yeah, you're right. People go, God, Squidward's so mean to you. Why do you keep hanging out with him, SpongeBob? But SpongeBob doesn't even process that Squidward finds him irritating. Like, SpongeBob, his outlook is so positive. He's like, oh, Squidward's the greatest neighbor in the world. He loves us, And so it never occurs to SpongeBob not to be friends with Squidward. And I don't know what Patrick's take on it is. That's
a really, really great question.
Great question.
From a young mind.
Yes.
And I think that, built into that is also SpongeBob's nature, which is constantly optimistic. And yeah, so Squidward was a grump yesterday, but today's a new day. I think for me, that's part of it. And I think for Patrick, it's just a matter of proximity.
So the young kid, his name is Gary from Fresno. He'll thank you for answering his question.
I know a Gary. I know a different Gary. Hi, Gary from Fresno.
Good question, Gary from Fresno.
Hey, Gary, our producer Mark Ceccarelli is from Fresno.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's a SpongeBob. There's a SpongeBob Camp Coral Fresno connection.
That's a terrific connection. I'm sure all the people from Fresno will appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for both of you for making this movie, and hopefully we'll have more years to come.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye now.